I'm Charlie Saunier, and I am the captain of the Renegades of Puck. The word captain has always meant so much to me. I've always held whatever player that wore the C in such high regard. I always found them to be the example to look to be the pinnacle, to be the guy, to be the one that can talk to any player, any manager, any coach, anyone in management. It meant a lot to me. Growing up, whoever wore the Captain C was always my favorite player. As I've become older and I've become an analyst around the game, whoever's worn those Captain Cs, I've always respected and appreciated each and every one of them. There's a reason that they were chosen to be there. They're the best, or they're the most liked, or many other reasons. Regardless of the reason, to have the Captain C on your chest comes with incredible responsibility. It's up to you to defend every player in that room, and it's not easy to do. It is not easy. It is up to you to speak up on behalf of those players. It is up to you to speak to those players. When something's out of sorts, it is up to each and every one of you as captains to make sure that your players are safe, to make sure that your team is taken care of and protected. The Chicago Blackhawks. Jonathan Toews, you've been held up as a captain in this league and one to be respected. Multiple-time champion, Olympian. I'll never have any respect for you again. You may continue to wear a Captain C. You may continue to be an NHL hockey player. You may, in fact, go on to be a Hall of Famer. Probably. Your name will never mean the same to me again. The captaincy will never mean the same to me again. You've committed a crime against the captaincy. How could you? And for what? To win? Being a captain is about so much more than winning. Being a captain is about being a leader. What you did was a failure in everything that you were entrusted to do. I am the captain of the Renegades of Puck, and I am going to speak on behalf of the Renegades now. When I was younger and more ignorant and I didn't wear a letter on my chest, I was involved in some seedy industries and some terrible businesses. I knew all the rumors. I understood what was going on sometimes behind the scenes. I knew sometimes the cost of fame, the price of a dream. It cost more than the money in your bank account. I sat quietly as people around me were preyed upon, and I watched, and I knew what was going on. I didn't know what level. I didn't know it was non-consensual, but I knew seedy things were going on, and I sat silent. I said nothing. I've sat in shame for years. I was preyed upon as well, but I said nothing when these people preyed on me. Instead, I let them prey on others. And for years, and through the trials, I sat there in shame because I didn't speak up. I wasn't deserving of wearing a Captain C at that time. I have learned. I have evolved. The people around me, victims everywhere, where I work, where I hang out, in my closest circle. I could have very well been one of those victims, but for some reason, it didn't happen to me, but it happened to so many others that I know. And my silence allowed it to happen. The Blackhawks, Jonathan Toews, your silence, you allowed it to happen to others. You will feel the same shame that I have felt. You will always feel it. The reason I wear this letter today is because I've learned, and I will never let something like that happen again. I will never allow one of my teammates, no matter where I play hockey, no matter what I host, I will never allow that to happen to one of you again. the bunker, and the renegades of Puck, the trenches, these are hard words, but we are not hard people. We are the people you can come to. We are the people you can trust. And what happened to Kyle Beach and probably countless others who have never spoken about it should never be allowed to happen again. 11 years of silence. That shame will live with you forever. When you put on that Hall of Fame jacket, it will be tinged with shame. Every time they celebrate that team, you will feel that shame. What you allowed to happen in your locker room should never have been allowed to happen. If, as you say, you didn't learn about it until the next training camp, what did you do from that moment forward? It's been a decade. The responses you've given since are unacceptable. You should take the captaincy off your jersey voluntarily, and you should continue on your career without ever commenting on this issue again, because clearly you do not understand on any level what happened. Joel Quenneville, you couldn't even face the media after this report came out. I hope you never coach a game in the NHL again. You were aware of what was happening in your locker room and with your team, and focusing on the playoffs and winning a Stanley Cup somehow was more important than investigating the crime and rooting out the perpetrator that was within your own home. It'll never make sense to me. I'll never understand it. Read the report. Watch the interviews. It is incredibly uncomfortable. It will make you squirm. It will make you want to look away. It will make you want to shut it off. Do not. We need to expose this type of toxic culture more. This game can be so much better than it has been. The slurs, the bullying, the fact that it seems like everybody in the Blackhawks organization knew, and yet they just paraded around like nothing ever happened. As a matter of fact, not only paraded around like nothing ever happened, had the actual assaulter at the parade celebrating in front of his victims. That man had his own day with the Stanley Cup. Can you look at the Stanley Cup the same right now? I can't. The Chicago Blackhawks put out a statement as well. It's hollow, and it's also 11 years too late. You had your opportunities. We have to fix this. We have to clean this up. We have to do a better job in hockey culture. We have to. For me, this has been a lot of deep thought and introspection the last few days. It was a topic I absolutely wanted to address, and I wanted to speak to each and every one of you about, and I wanted to do it in the most serious of tones. There's no reason for me to recap everything that happened. The reporting that's been out there, it's exceptional. The details, horrific. It's incredibly difficult. It's a very difficult subject, but it's one that we need to talk about. As for the 2010 Chicago Blackhawks, I just have one thing to say about the topic. If prioritizing winning a championship over rooting out a criminal rapist in your organization was more important than the only thing that can be done to that particular Blackhawks team is to take away the only thing that seemed to matter to them. Their names should be removed from the Stanley Cup. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you this right now. So the guy with the white gloves, if you see me coming in the near future, I have keys in my hand. And if you don't remove Aldridge's name from the cup, I'll do it myself. And I don't care about the consequences. I'm the captain of the Renegades of Puck. And the Renegades of Puck stand with Kyle Beach. We love you. Thank you for everything you've done. And I'm sorry we were silent for so long.